Well, my wife, I cared for my wife for some years, and eventually she was so poorly I really needed to have a break myself, which I hadn't been able to get, and it was necessary for her to go into a nursing home. She went into the nursing home, and shortly after she went into the nursing home, I went away to see my sister who was ill and another relative who has since passed away. And whilst I was away, her children took advantage of my absence to take a solicitor into the nursing home and arrange for my wife to sign a power of attorney, which I knew nothing. I'd been handling her affairs and cared for her myself with no help from them for so many years. I wanted to carry on the way we were, that I managed her affairs. My wife was so into dementia at that time that she herself, she wanted me to handle everything, and she was in such a state of dementia that it was impossible to have got anybody to overrule what they'd done, so it went to court. I needed help because it was so much of a strain, not only missing her because she wasn't at home, but the amount of time I used to go and visit her every day, and it was getting to me rather badly, and I needed legal advice, so I went to solicitors and took legal advice from them. But in the meantime, I had spoken to somebody in age concern, and eventually one person acted as my advocate throughout the whole of the case, which eventually lasted a matter of a couple of years. From the outset, Margaret came to see me. She listened very, very carefully to what I had to say. She helped me in so many ways that, well, it's unbelievable, really. There was never anything that happened throughout the whole of the time, and it was over almost 2 years. There was never anything that she didn't put her heart and soul into finding out for me, or helping me with anything that had to be written. She would make phone calls. She wrote to people on my behalf, and she went into everything necessary to put it to the Court of Protection, my feelings about how the whole thing had been done, the injustice of it, and whether they could do anything about it. She not only did that with the Court of Protection, but she went to the Law Society and arranged everything, and she dealt directly with them on my behalf, which freed me to visit my wife as much as I possibly could until such time as she passed away. And I must say that the advocacy that I got from the person, Mrs. Fay, on Age Concerned, I couldn't have done without. She helped me throughout the whole thing. She fought without, nothing passed her without she fought hard to get some justification for what we were trying to do, to prove that I should be the one. And I never realised that a person such as myself, who was fighting a lone battle, shall we say, could go to an organisation and get this type of help. I wasn't aware that you could go to an organisation who would act as your advocate in this matter. When I first spoke to Margaret about this, I tried to outline to her exactly what this was doing to me. I felt it was killing me almost, and she gave me comfort in as much that she said that she herself and the organisation would do everything they possibly could to help me, which gave me so much comfort. I felt that I wasn't fighting this alone now. I've got someone behind me. But it was getting to me so much that I would hate that anybody else ever had to go through what I was going through, because it was a torment. I was suffering mentally, I felt, over this, and what she was able to, the things that she was able to relieve me of doing myself, she did for me. She tried to help in so many ways, was relieving me and keeping me going. I don't think I could have gone on my own.